Okay, let's go ahead and look at some problems and see how you do them. Let's look at number one together. Okay, so as I can see on number one, I notice you want to just make a mental note of certain things. Let's get this back. Number one. Okay, so I noticed that I have two variables. I have a coefficient on one of the expressions. I have two expressions. We want to do this one step at a time. As you can see on the coefficients, we have negative signs. So let's go ahead and work on the sign on our problem. A negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm just going to put a positive here to know, to indicate that my problem will end up with a positive. Okay, so now let's look next at the coefficient. 3. Here the coefficient is 1. You could have said negative 1 times negative 3. That will give you positive 3. Okay, so we're done with the coefficients, the big numbers. Okay, let's now look at the variables. Let's start with u. So here's a u, here's another u to the first power times u to the second power, which will give you u cubed. You add the little numbers, you add the exponents. Then v squared times v will give you v cubed again. And that is my final answer. There's nothing else I can do. Okay, let's go ahead and also let's look at number 2 really quick. So start with the coefficients. 2 times a negative 4 is negative 8. Big numbers multiply. Exponents add. X squared. I don't see another x, so I just put x squared. Y cubed times y to the fourth. Keep the base at the exponent, y to the 7th. Alright. Okay, let's look at raising to a power. So number 5. Okay, this one is a very good question. A very good one. Okay, so here you have a sign, you're raising it to the fourth power. You have a negative, you're raising it to the fourth power. Whenever you, or you can say I have a 3 and I'm raising it to the fourth power. So let's do that. Negative 3 to the fourth power, which is negative 3 times itself 4 times, times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Okay, so negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, times negative 3 is negative 27, times negative 3 is positive 81. So this is 81. X squared to the fourth power, well, that's when you raise a power to a power, you multiply. So 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, and then this is also y to the 8. Okay, another one, negative 3 cubed. Okay, so for the coefficients, you're going to take whatever it is and you raise it, and since it's a number, you know what negative 3 to the third power is, so go ahead and do it. Do it on the side. 3 times 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 equals positive 9 times negative 3, which is negative 27. Negative 27, and then raise the variable to the power x cubed. Okay, let's look at number 13. Okay, number 13. Let's get to number 13. My suggestion, when you have something inside of parentheses then raised to a power, I want you to go ahead and try to simplify inside the parentheses first. Okay, so almost like thinking PEMDAS. So inside the parentheses first, then exponent. Okay, so let's look inside. I have different things. I'm going to start with the easiest, something raised to the 0 power. Well, anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so this becomes 2 times 1, which is 2n squared over 2n to the negative 3. Well, 2 over 2, 2 divided by 2, they can cross out and become 1. 1 times anything is itself. So that's why I say cross out, because 1 times n squared over n is just n squared over n. Then raised to the negative 3 power. Okay, so n squared over n, well, that's just subtract the exponent because it's division. So this is n equals n raised to the negative 3, which is n raised to the negative 3. We like positive exponents, so let's make this positive exponent. Remember to change the sign of the exponent. All you do is you just change positions. If it's on top, put it on the bottom. If it's on the bottom, put it on the top, and you have 1 over n cubed. Okay, several ways to do this. My suggestion, simplify inside the radical and then finish up your problem. Okay, so again, disclaimer, many different ways to do that. All right, let's look at 15. I see the top is not as messy as the bottom. Since it's just one variable, I'm just going to try to simplify the bottom as much as I can. I'm going to start here because this looks more complicated. Something raised to a power. Well, again, you're going to raise everything to the power. You're going to raise the coefficient and you're going to raise the exponent. You're going to raise the big number, you're going to raise the little number. Okay, so this I didn't do anything to the 3m. Okay, now this says 2 squared. 2 raised to the second power. Well, 2 squared is 4. And m, power to a power, you multiply. Okay? I will simplify the bottom even more. 2m squared over multiply. This parentheses now represents multiplication. Multiply the big numbers. 3 times 4 is 12. Add the little number. M to the 1 times m to the 4th is m to the 5th power. Okay? Just do it one step at a time. Okay. Now, next thing is to divide. 2 over 12, that's just telling you to simplify. 2 over 12, 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 12 6 times. You're simplifying, reducing, dividing, whatever you call it. Now here is my trick. Notice how you have m squared on top, m to the 5th on the bottom. Ask yourself, where is the biggest exponent? The answer is on the bottom, m to the 5th power. So to save you from having negative exponents and doing a lot of things, my suggestion is put your answer where you have the biggest exponent and always subtract big minus small. So 5 minus 2 is 3, and it's going to go on the bottom, m cubed, because the bigger exponent is on the bottom. Okay. So number 19, quick, tell me the answer. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Everything in here is in a parentheses and is raised to the 0 power, so the answer equals 1. Okay? Let's do 18. Actually, let's see. Let's just do another problem that I make up, okay? And let's call this problem 21. What if you had x to the negative 4 over x cubed to the negative 3, y to the negative 6, y squared? Okay? When you have something like this, where you're looking and you see negatives before you can even simplify the variable, here is my suggestion. Using the power of a negative, change the position so that you can get all positives. So x to the negative 4 is on the top. I want it to be a positive exponent, so I move it to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to change all my moving to another color. So x to the negative 4. Bring it to the bottom, it becomes a positive 4. X to the negative 3. Move it to the top, it becomes a positive exponent. Y to the negative 6. Move that to the bottom, it becomes positive. And then y squared is already positive, so leave it where it is. Now simplify. Okay, so y to the 6 and y squared, they are both on the same location. They're both on the bottom. So that's actually a multiplication problem. So let's do that. Y6 times y squared is y to the 8. Add the exponents. X cubed, x to the 4th. Again, ask yourself, this is one is on top, one is on the bottom, so that's division. Okay, and the bigger exponent is on the bottom, so you know that your answer for the x is going to be on the bottom, and you just do subtraction, big minus small. 4 minus 3 is 1. X to the 1, which is just x. Okay, well, there's nothing on the top. Whenever you have that, you just put 1 as a placeholder. Okay, I hope that helps. Go ahead. I'm going to post this on my website, and I would like for you to practice the rest of the problems and the ones that I just did. Thank you.